you look around the league, there's a lot of teams, in the hunt. We're in the hunt. You sit here and you say, hey, Thanksgiving and close to the end of November, and we're in the hunt. When you sit around that table tomorrow, you're saying we're in the hunt. And there's a lot of teams that wish they were in the hunt. Well, we're in the hunt.
Being a Bills fan is like getting a Tiger Cup. It's gonna eventually kill you, but you love it. And today was a good example of that. It's the In the Hunt cast. I'm Greg Bauk, and Kyle Turner doesn't approve of my open, and Sean Murphy is still on the fence about it. So, but we're gonna talk about a win over the Chargers.
I like it. That's a classic. That's Greg Intro 101. If they were teaching your intros in college, they'd be like, "This is an example of a Greg intro."
Definitely a 101 intro though.
Yeah.
That was very big. Nothing, no dead animals. The animals were actually doing the killing.
Yeah.
That we like it that way.
Before we get into the game, I want to make a prediction. Is there going to be more complaining in this pod episode than rejoicing?
No, not for me, baby.
Come on, Greg, you're with me. This is a complaining game. That was barely football.
This was a game they always lose. And watching the Chargers just makes me so happy that we have a guy that Coach Clap just has his shit together. And I know he made some mistakes in this game, but like, holy shit, are the Chargers just a mess? Like that coach, if you're a fan of that team and had that really good young quarterback, you're like, get Anthony Lynn out of here like right now. That was just the worst thing I've ever
watched.
Like
a ghosts of football past in watching that Chargers game where you're like, I've seen that team play for 20 years and I'm so glad it's not my team anymore.
Yeah. It is weird watching the Chargers. This game was bad by Herbert, but before this game, he had been like tearing it up statistically, and everyone's like, this is crazy, right? Justin Herbert's like having this insane year, but they're losing all the time. But like, I don't know, like they have those same things where they're missing Ingram, their top cornerback, wasn't he out? They're missing two defensive players like for the year. And I think it's just one of those like excuses teams where it's same thing we did for 20 years where it was like, nah, man, they'll be good next year. We just got to get that guy back. And then everything will be different. So I think Lynn's there to stay. I mean, he had a bad game this year. I haven't watched any Chargers game because who gives a shit about the Chargers? But like, yeah, it was a bad coaching game for Lynn. But
it's a little bit of both to me, where I feel like the Chargers seem almost supernaturally unlucky, but they don't help themselves with what they're doing. I mean, as much as I root for Lynn, that was just, even the announcers couldn't believe half the decisions he was making.
Unlucky, they got 4 friggin' turnovers in the fourth quarter.
In this game, certainly
handed them that game.
But
the Bills were begging.
Yes, but the Chargers are that team that every year when you start paying attention to football in August, you like go to, Pro Football Talk or whatever, and you're like, the two newest Chargers are out for the year. Like that's just been their franchise forever.
The Bills offense
they're immediately go ahead.
The Bills offense today was like me in a relationship. Just like, okay, take this, take more. Just, okay, I love you still. Oh, you want the ball back? Okay, here you go. Okay, what's his name? He's going to drive you home. Okay. Like that, it was fucking like, that was a very, very painful.
You started off kind of hot there. You're like, take this, take more. No, I'm sorry.
It's not the good taking.
I was like, yeah, get it. Oh, no.
No.
This first off, I want to bring up one thing. You mentioned the announcers, Sean. We've discussed this before. I'm not a big, the announcers are terrible guy. Truthfully, I don't care. You tell me what's happening, whatever. I can see it too. I don't need you. But dude, today they had Greg Gumbel and Rich Gannon. Holy fucking I would have rather reattended my dad's funeral than listen to those guys ever again.
Me too.
They were so fucking bad. It was I was like blowing my mind, and I was like, am I the only one that's like, maybe I'm being too hard? And then I checked Twitter, finding tweet of the game, and there were other people who are like, these guys suck, right? Oh, Jesus, yeah, what's a Gumbel? Sorry.
No, I don't understand how hard is it to replace someone if you're CBS, you're in charge of football broadcast decisions. Like Rich Gannon, just every year he's not the worst human being that ever lived. I don't have much of an opinion. I thought he was a neat quarterback back when he played with the Raiders, but he doesn't offer anything to any conversation. Like you might as well just have the sound of a dog drinking water in between the play-by-play announcer talking. He doesn't do anything that you never help. There's so many interesting broadcasters. Snoop Dogg on boxing last night was fucking amazing. It's not hard to get an interesting person to talk about sports. There's 3 of them right here that could do a better job than Rich Gannon, but they don't even, is it just because he played quarterback? It's so bad.
There was a game a couple weeks ago that the ex-cornerback Aqib Talib, I believe, right? Mm-hmm. That's his name. I believe it was a Colts game, and I didn't know who the announcers were, but this guy, which ended up to be Aqib Talib, just sounded like a guy that got off the street. Like a good play would happen, he'd be like, "Yo!" And I was like, "Who is this guy?" And then it came out that he was a player, and I was like, "Of course he's great." Yes, he's just a guy who loves football. He's not like, let me analyze this and talk like a robot. He's just out here like, oh shit, son, that's just crazy. That dude's dead as shit.
That's one of my biggest growing up in the city.
He didn't say dead as shit.
Growing up in
he
a city,
is though. If they keep him on games, he will swear, guaranteed.
Growing up in a city with Rick Jeanneret, that's the thing. You watch these games and you're like, why is everyone so boring? Don't make enthusiasm out of nothing. But it's just you watch some of these games and you're like, wow, that's the greatest touchdown pass I've ever seen in my life. Crazy. Yeah. And you're like,
but that's the thing hockey has that football. If you were a fan of football your whole life and just didn't live in a hockey season and never saw hockey and then moved to a football market and became a fan, they get their own play-by-play announcers. The NFL really, you have the radio version of it, but you don't get TV play-by-play announcers that are play favorites Rick Jeanneret would do. So I wouldn't expect them to be like Rick Jeanneret, but just fucking say something worthwhile that's at least somewhat interesting.
Well, and back to the game. I mean, it's been 7 minutes that we haven't talked about the big Lee Smith revenge game here. One catch, 2 yards, blocking people like they're water. I mean, just a pretty good game, I would say, for our boy.
You know why? You know why I hate him? You know why I hate him? I hate what he represents. And that's losing. That's a losing culture and an old way of thinking. I hate what he represents.
What did you say?
Let me tell you what he represents. Run the ball to set the pass. That's what ground and pound. That's what Lee Smith represents.
Well, I will say
gross.
I will say this. Whenever Dawson Knox was in there to block, they would go right. It was knee blocking, and then when Lee Smith is in there, you're like, oh, this is what I know. He can't, run a route at all. But we talk about Lee Smith so much on the podcast that it's whenever he's in there, I'm exclusively watching him. Josh Allen could be winding it up for an 80-yard bomb. I'm like, well, look at that Lee Smith block. He did pretty good on that play. I'm so keyed in on it now.
Dawson Knox plays like someone who tries to convince everyone before the game. Let's just play touch. Let's just play 2-hand touch. There was one. Bosa had one play that Knox was supposed to block him, and it was seriously Turnstile City.
That's right.
He was not. It's he thought he had COVID, and he just didn't want to touch him. He immediately went to the sidelines and washed his hands.
Knox seems like that street basketball player that shows up to the playground and he's decked out in a actual basketball jersey, and he's got Allen Iverson sleeves on, and everyone's just like, dude, this is a pickup game. Chill. Okay, there's no cameras here. And he's like, oh, sorry, I thought we were supposed to look good. I hated this, and this is nothing on Josh Allen. Surprisingly, this has nothing to do with Singletary or Moss. This whole offensive game plan was so fucking aggravating. You knew it. It was so fucking predictable. There were reports for the last 2 weeks about them wanting to find out and establish the run game. They wanted to, find out what's going on with the run game and move some things around. And it was so fucking predictable, them being like, they're going to try to force the run game. You have a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, and he throws for 24 passes And it's just like, just stop. The weather was fucking perfect out. Mother Nature was wearing a goddamn football helmet today. She wanted you to throw the ball, and you were like, we better run it. Fuck running. What are you doing? This game plan was horrendous. Josh Allen had like 50 passing yards in the fucking half. Get out of here, you piece of shit.
Wow.
That was Daboll. That was to Daboll, not to the players. Daboll.
That was to our 8-3 offensive coordinator, Daboll.
It
wow.
was. This win was hidden. This win is hidden.
Hidden from who?
I somewhat agree, and I don't mind running more, but they ran it way too much. Like you said, Josh Allen shouldn't have had like 130 yards or however much he threw for.
Yeah, and it's the whole thing was like, how many plays did Joey Bosa destroy? He blew up multiple plays, and I know he's phenomenal. I'm not saying like, why did you let him in? The guy's amazing. Don't fucking run at him. You don't even have to know about football. If you are explaining to someone who doesn't know anything about football, and you're like, hey, this one guy right here is maybe the best defensive lineman in the league, what should you do? Someone who doesn't know anything about football would be like, I don't know, go the other way. But the Bills were like, better run at him. better run an RPO at him. That would help fucking
Like if
Allen.
you're afraid of the dark, you spend some time in the dark.
You run an RPO at Joey Bosa, one of the top 2 or 3 best defensive linemen in the league. You're like, yeah, he'll get tricked, not the other guy. You fucking idiot.
My favorite thing about Kyle is win or lose, he brings the same level. Like if you're just listening to Kyle, you're like, I don't know if they won or lost this game.
I just get picked because it's just like, man, you're lucky this game was against the fucking Chargers. If this was a better team, it's not the same outcome. And that's what gives me, it's just like, dude, they could have destroyed this team. And they predictably did not destroy this team.
Well, so the offense played pretty bad. Defense played one of their better games
They
generally.
played amazingly.
Yeah.
They friggin' turned the
were
ball
great.
over 4 times in the fourth quarter, and they won still.
But that we got to talk about that Hail Mary, because that one annoyed me more almost than the Hopkins one, because it's like you could knock that one down. That one was like knock down a ball. Instead, you just let it like bobble through the air to the other team.
It seems like that's just a Bills thing. Even on the 2-point conversion, it's a toss-up and the guy gets it. It's just like, what is happening? Why can't they just knock these down? Those plays are like percentages. You know what I mean? It's like 3% of those balls are completed, and they get 2 today. And the last time the Bills played, another one's good. It's like, Jesus Christ, do something, punch up. I don't know. I'm not cornerback, but punch up. Can we practice punching up?
No.
Yeah, we can. I'm sorry.
He's gonna be conservative. Our point spread differential throughout the course of the year is gonna be like 1 point.
Do we want to talk at all about the refs? There were some weird ass personal foul calls, including the Moss call, which I thought was
I'll do the Moss run as my boner of the game. Like I love that run. That was awesome.
Boner of the game. Not even boner play of the game. Boner of the game. I had
multiple.
multiple boners, but that's boner of the game.
You know what? I forgot we did a feature. I was just telling you guys that I got a boner when he did that run. I didn't think of that. No, that was an awesome run, and that was just a weird penalty. They had a questionable game, but it was kind of both sides. So
yeah.
I thought that Josh Allen one, it's a penalty in written, but I think the whole thing is bullshit. Here's what I think should happen. I think we should actually almost reverse it completely, go one step further here. I think if the defender that allows the touchdown should be forced to watch the celebration. I don't think it should be. I think that guy should have to sit and watch the celebration if he allowed it.
It's interesting.
Or she.
I like Kyle. I think the whole thing is bullshit. Turner could be your new name.
But my boner play of the game, I guess, would be the Josh Allen run. I mean, there weren't many boners in this game. I'll tell you that much. Or maybe the Trey White interception. We rarely give it to a defense. Yeah. I'm going to give it to Trey White interception. Boner.
I thought the pass by Beasley was fun.
It looked like that was the first time he ever threw a ball.
No, it was a good throw.
Yeah.
It was it got to where it was supposed to go, but the form was horrible.
I really want Kyle as like a coach, not even for the Bills, just for anyone. Like, I just love a team. He's one of those like Belichick Brady expects perfection. Like, there's a big touchdown. Kyle's like, come over here. That's the first time you ever threw a ball? Because I wasn't impressed. I thought it was bullshit.
Take your helmet and get the fuck out. You're never scoring again for this team. But that's one thing. Bringing up Cole Beasley, little concerning. You have John Brown out. The guy has 2 receptions on. That's what I'm talking about. What the fuck was this game plan? It just seemed like a mess. You had 2 weeks to compare. The whole game, offensive game plan seemed like a mess. And I don't blame Josh Allen. I'm not blaming anyone but them. Stephon Diggs has 7 catches for 40 yards. The fuck kind of game plan? That's your best player. 7 catches for 40 yards? Jesus, that's like a high school stat.
Their big dumb quarterback who can't hold on to the ball was pressured all day though. So I know why they did their game plan. It's conservative and I know you hate it, but I think that it was the only reason they won the game.
Well, they didn't even do a good job being conservative. They let Bosa in every other play. The game plan didn't work there.
Any other game thoughts before we move on here?
No, we should end the
move
podcast.
on to, I have a tweet of the game.
Yeah, well then, yeah, do the tweet.
All right. I was like, are we done here?
Yes.
Is this it? Usually, go a little further here. All right. So this one, I'm going to read the name after because I literally only picked this guy's profile because his name is funny. Okay. So the tweet is, I don't know how my kid thinks he's going to get Christmas presents when I can hear him in the other room cheering for the Bills. So clearly this guy, not a Bills fan. But his name, I love it. Dick Donahue. Pretty cool name. He's from Boston. He's a retired sergeant. In his bio, it says that I think he's retired because he got injured in the field. He's retired police officer. And so I guess we have to give him props for that. But also, Boston fan, you're knocked back down. Sorry, don't care. Not my fault. I was in the service too.
So he's just at a normal level. He got bonus points and then he got knocked back down to.
Yeah. Also, speaking as a serviceman here, you don't brag about the stuff that happened to you. You didn't join to brag about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't wear your Purple Hearts on your civilian clothes. All I'm saying, I know that's getting a little political, but don't brag about the stuff. Unless you join to brag, you should be open about it. Sorry.
It sounds to me
I know
like
you guys don't want to talk about it because it's stolen valor for you guys, but
well, it sounds to me like Kyle has nothing to brag about, Crack. That's what it sounds to me like.
If Kyle had a medal, it would be his car's hood ornament. The fucking thing would be. He'd have T-shirts that ask me about my medal. There's no fucking way he wouldn't. Talks about beating up kickers. This dude would display his medal on everything he had.
I have American Hero tattooed on my neck. So one tour in Japan. Japan. The war was over there. Dick Donahue, though, I think that's a fun name. Dick Donahue.
I agree. All right, shall we move on? Any other closing thoughts on this mailbite?
No, I feel like there should be.
I thought AJ Epinesa, I'll never say the guy's name correct. I thought he looked good from when I saw him playing. I tried to look at him specifically because I was like, I hope this guy's good and not bad. And he seems to really have a good game.
Yeah, you bring up the all 22, you keyword AJ, and you're like, no, not Klein. I'm the other one. And then you
also still not eating any crows on Klein here. I'm not gonna 2 good games doesn't erase 8. I'm saying 9. Talk to me when he's even. When he's got as many good games as bad games, then I'll start to think about it.
He had a rough first half with a lot of missed coverages, blown tackles. He had a good fourth quarter though.
That's my thing that I've always wondered with the Bills offense is watching a team like the Chargers where they seem to do they throw a lot to the backs and the back predictably gets about 5 to 8 yards a catch, if not a little more. And I'm like, why don't we throw it to the backs just a little more, just little tosses? It just seems like that guy always gets 8 yards. I don't know. I don't fucking know. But I'm not going to pretend to know. But all I know is, I don't know, maybe throw it to the backs a little bit more. Just little easy passes. Let them make a guy miss, and then he gets 12 yards. Great play.
Can I tell you something?
AJ Klein sucks. That's what I want to say.
Oh,
Here.
jeez.
Him and Lee Smith are the same. One's on defense, and one should be fucking selling mattresses or some shit.
Yeah.
Mattresses. What's the commission on a mattress? Is there someone?
Ain't
It's not
good.
like you can get someone to buy two when they walk into the store.
You get a mattress from Extreme Mattress or whatever that is.
My goal
on Delaware,
is
it's
to
like Extreme with 9 X's.
is to next year do like a live show and our guests are Lee Smith, AJ Klein, and like Tremaine Edmonds, and just see Kyle shit his pants in front of everyone. That's my personal goal.
Can we live broadcast it from a mattress store so Kyle
Yeah.
could be like, get to work?
And then the final, and then it ends with Kyle doing a pay-per-view fight with Tyler Bass and just getting destroyed.
All I care about with the Bills now is the other games and the playoff shake up. Like it's been so long since we were this early into a season and we can like realistically start looking at this shit, like who they would play. And today is an excellent day for that. So if you consider the fact that the Ravens are playing the Steelers Tuesday and they would not be favored to win that game, probably they could lose to the Steelers. That would put it, if the Ravens lose to the Steelers, it would put it Buffalo facing Cleveland in the first round, hosting that game. Which
Cleveland, I watched some of the Cleveland game today. That man, they stink.
Yeah,
they're just not. They're not a good team. So I'm fine. But at the same time, they do match up well with what the Bills' defense usually struggles with, which is running the ball.
Well, and I even said a couple weeks ago, rather, that I'm worried that the Bills would just play the Ravens the first round and get killed, but the Ravens have looked pretty bad recently too. So that first round game is, provided we don't end up like playing Tennessee or something like that, like it could be a good matchup for us.
They have to keep winning games so they don't play Tennessee or Indy. Indy would play the Chiefs in the first round, and that would be cool, because Indy would have a chance to knock off the Chiefs. Like this is all I care about. Is just like the shakeout thing. It's like I miss when the Sabres used to make the playoffs, and you would just look at how those matchups would go. So I think that's a fun.
Should we talk at all about how half the league is getting COVID, or do we want to keep this fun?
Oh yeah, there's no way there's gonna be playoffs. Like the league's gonna.
It seems to be getting bad.
It is bad, and it's going to get worse. Like the rates just
you know what? For a long time, I didn't think this COVID thing was real, but now that Baltimore has some players out, this thing might be real.
Denver didn't have a quarterback.
I'm going to buy a mask. I've gone maskless for 9 months. I might get a mask today.
I was going to have to read how to wear them.
I think that's a perfect segue to talk about. I mean, we don't have the Manscaped ad anymore, but we do have a new thing to promote. Isn't that right,
Kyle? New way to annoy you.
Yeah, it's now Womanscaped. It's a different company, but for women. We have one woman listener, I believe.
They heard our work with Manscaped. We're like, we got to get these guys.
No, actually, the women who listen to our podcast heard it, and they're like, what about me? What if I need to be trimmed down there? Yeah. And they demanded it. So
hey, if you're a woman listener, email us. We want to know how many we have. It's got to be 2, right?
It's not 2. It's
not 2. I think it's more than 2.
No, it's
1.
Not. I think it's 5.
5. If you're a woman listener, reach out in the huntcast@gmail.com or just tweet us.
If you get one response from a woman who listens to this podcast on Twitter, by text, by email, that you can show it to me, I will give you $60.
No way. You still owe me from the Manscaped.
You told me not to pay it for you. This time I'm going to give you $60. You get one woman to respond, and it can't be your girlfriend. Well, you get one woman to respond. I will give you $60.
What about me? I get money too, right?
Yeah, whatever. I'll give you both $60.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah. All right.
It's not going to happen. I will also give you the keys to my car.
You're going to mail them to me. All right. Well, big news here in the Hunters.
I just mail you the keys to my car, and because I didn't tell you I was giving you my car. What the fuck am I gonna do with these?
I'll let I'll let you drive it until I'm back in Buffalo when I need a car.
We still haven't told people that we weren't serious
Okay.
about womanscaping. Like that's not what we're trying
Oh
to
yeah,
tell
that's
you
not a
about.
thing.
Okay.
It might be a thing, but it's not our thing.
Yeah.
Big news for the
I'm also
pod
against
here.
this big news. I'm against the big news. I just wanted that pointed out.
Oh my god.
This was totally Greg's idea. Sean
No,
and
it
I
wasn't.
wanted nothing to do with it.
That's not true.
We are officially starting a Patreon
yeah
for our podcast.
Yes.
And it is predictably pretty bad here. So we have a couple tiers that we're going to explain in detail. If right now you're like, I am absolutely not giving these guys money, you can fast forward a couple minutes because we have to go through and explain in detail what you're getting with our different Patreon tiers.
Mhm.
So Sean, want to describe some of those tiers for me?
Wow. Okay. Sure.
Can I say something first before you describe the tiers?
Yeah.
Getting your own Patreon is part of white man evolution. They have the chart for primate evolution where it's like the monkey on all
Yeah.
fours and then he's partially walking, then he's walking and it's the man like walking with a fishing pole. For a white male in 2020, it is a white guy outside of his high school hacky sacking. Then he's doing a podcast and then he's starting a Patreon. Like that's like the white guy evolutionary
the
chart, so.
next step is drinking an IPA at a party. Like, you listen to the new Rogan podcast, bro? so we're slowly getting our way there.
This stout is pretty heavy, but
Yes.
Okay, so we have 5 tiers for our Patreon. First up is the Blake Bortles tier, which you know, $1 a month, and
it's
get
$1, folks.
just $1.
That was me, listener. I fought for the $1 a month tier because I think it's ridiculous that anyone would pay more than $1 a month. So the
Yes.
Blake Bortles tier was my doing.
And you get a weekly blog from Greg Bauk.
That's right.
And sometimes maybe
And I
maybe
will-
Sean and I, when I learn how to spell correctly, I might throw some blogs in there.
So that's
Yes.
that's a thing where you're just like, hey, I want to support these dumb
Yeah.
idiots. You give us $1 a month and you forget about it, right? That's
It's
fun.
12
gonna
bucks a
somehow get a
year.
fax.
What is that? You know what I mean? That's one chicken finger sub.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's not bad.
I'm going to somehow get a fax from Kyle, him submitting his blog for the month. And it's going to be like, football good things are there.
I've been thinking, that's how every one of my blogs are going to start. I've been thinking, oh, that's already dangerous.
Second tier, the Sweeto tier.
Guido.
$3 a month. It gets you the Greg Bauk blog, and you get 1 bonus episode per month.
And those episodes are going to be so much better than talking about Bills games.
Yes, we already we could give a spoiler. We already recorded our first bonus episode, which was the fabled review of Karate Dog.
And it is just
Yeah.
beautiful.
We sat and watched Karate Dog. It was an hour and 24 minutes, and we did that for a Patreon that no one will subscribe to. That time is gone. The saddest part is, if no one subscribes to these $3 tiers, we still have to do these if someone eventually subscribes and then they're like, you guys have no bonus episodes. So we have to do this. So hopefully, if you're like, you know what, I got an extra $3. I was on unemployment making $600 a week here. I'll throw these guys $3 a month and you get a bonus episode.
But wait, Kyle, it gets even
The
better.
bonus episodes, we should say, the bonus episodes will, it's going to be, you know, about Bills and stuff, but it's also going to be like that. We review Karate Dog, or what's the one with the dog? The
Karate
other dog that plays basketball, Air Bud. We got the whole Air Bud franchise we have to go through. We're going to watch old Bills games from the AFL. Shit like that, where it's just going to be random stuff, but it'll be fun.
We have a lot of fun things planned. I would say a decent amount are still football and Bills related, but not all of them. We have a couple episodes we did with Helium and April that Kyle will be happy to know are very long, and they have a bunch of guests on, and those are very funny. So those are some of them. And speaking of the next tier, the Yo Mama joke tier.
Yo Mama joke tier.
$6 per month, and you get the Greg blog and 2 bonus episodes per month. One comes out on the 1st, one on the 15th. So, I mean, that's even better, Kyle.
Mm-hmm.
I say, I mean, 2 bonus episodes. You get to hear me yelling a lot more.
I'm gonna quit the pod because that's so many podcasts.
Yeah.
I personally think it's too many podcasts, but if someone's willing to pay us $6 whole a month,
Yeah.
I mean, not, that is king's money at that point.
Special thing for you two guys. I offered you $60 a piece if one woman contacted you in any way and told you they listened to the podcast. If there's a single woman Patreon, I will up that to $240 each.
No way. Each?
Yes.
Does
each.
Tracy know about this?
I
I
don't give a
don't
shit.
want to be the cause of your divorce.
Oh no, there's so many reasons she'll divorce me. It won't be this.
I love the idea of her looking at your finances, be like, Greg, why do you keep giving money to Kyle and Sean?
I won't. I'm so confident that there's not only no women listening to this podcast, but also no woman would pay us that I can do that. That's
And,
just my
I
confidence.
see now $40 was enough for me to be like, it's fine, keep your money. 60 is like, come on, Greg. 240 is like, I need that money.
Yes.
So you will pay me 240 if a woman pays us $6 a
Also,
month.
we should say part of the reason for starting this Patreon, as Greg will shout to the rooftops, is that it costs us money to put the podcast up, and we just want to stop losing money. It's really
Yes.
we don't want to get rich. We just want to stop losing money.
Yeah. And also, before we go on a little bit, let's not forget we've been running this podcast 3 years, right?
Yeah.
How many times they make the playoffs? It's on us.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
right.
So let's not forget that if we stop doing it because we go broke, which is very close for Sean and I, they might go sucking again.
Yeah.
What's the
So
next-
Keep
what's
us
the
alive.
next
All
tier?
right, Sean.
Okay.
How many
Yeah,
more
we got-
tiers? We
we
got
got-
2 tiers.
We got 2 tiers left,
left,
and these
they're ridiculous.
these are good ones. Next up is the Hot Mock tier.
Hot knock.
At $20 a month, you get the Greg Buck blog, the 2 monthly bonus episodes, and you get a personalized Greg Buck, and you get a Bills Dough.
A Bills dough, which
So
is not for use.
Yes.
no, yes, that
Talk
it
to your
will. It
doctor.
will come. I'm making it. You won't get it. It's not like you're going to sign up on the 1st and then get it on, the 2nd. I need to make this stuff. We're still in a pandemic. I have to go to an art supply fucking store and get some paint and shit. I have to buy some primer. I have to buy a dildo. So I still have to get this stuff and make it. You're not going to get it right away, but you will get it. And it will come with a personalized note that says, thank you. Do not put this inside any human body.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Yeah.
I will say that
Certificate of authenticity from Kyle.
I'm totally absolving us from any poisoning.
Yeah.
I wanted one of the things for this tier to be that you get the blog, you get the special episodes, you get the Bills dough, you get the Greg Buck commentary, and you also get $20. Like I wanted that to be something from, but they ruled me down, so that's not.
It's
We give
funny.
them their money back.
Just logistically.
That's how much we care. The highest tier ever is the funniest thing in the
Yes.
world. There's only one of these available.
Yes, there's only one of the highest tier available. It is $40 a month, and it is the Joe B tier,
Yes.
because there can
Joe
only
B's
be
the
one.
goat.
Yeah, there can only be one Joe B. And with that, of course, you get the Greg Buck blog, the 2 episodes a month, the personalized Greg Buck, the Bills dough, and you get to sponsor the podcast for an entire year. So whatever you want us to say within reason, we'll say. You could change it every episode, whatever you want, and you get to be a guest on the podcast.
There you go. Who wouldn't want
Also,
that?
we should mention though that Joe B does get that tier for free, and I will be mailing him a Bills dough, even though he doesn't know.
This is just our way of getting Joby on the pod. Like, oh, you get an episode. When do you want to record?
I can't wait to tell him that he has a tier named after him.
Does
on
he
our
not
pod.
know yet? I want you to tell him.
Yeah.
Oh, we got to tell him on the pod though.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna message him and be like, "Hey, just so you know, there's a whole Patreon tier."
Yeah,
for
next
you."
time, the draft preview, you'll have to tell them.
Yeah.
And just to wrap this up, this will go live on the 1st. We didn't want to put it before then because you get charged every the 1st of every month. So it'd be kind of shitty to put it up the 26th and then to be double charged. So,
So what's the website, Sean? Patreon.com/in-the-hunt or something?
yeah, we'll tweet
I don't
it
know
out.
it. That's
Just
a
go
legit
to
question.
Patreon, search In the Hunt. We'll be up there, and it's a lot of fun
Yeah.
goodies.
If you can't find it, tweet at us, email us, whatever it may be, and we'll send you the link.
There you go.
All right. Patreon,
done.
baby.
This podcast
All right.
over.
No, that was a big. We still got to do the question game, Greg.
Oh
that
my
was
God.
I know. We're going long this one. Question game. On the line, a jersey from Tommy Sweeney. Fun fact about Tommy Sweeney,
He might die of COVID.
It's
Well,
a heart
it's-
condition.
it's interesting because it took me way too long to pick up on this, but he has myocarditis due to COVID, which, funny story, is what I had. I had that like 10 years ago.
You had
From
COVID
COVID?
10 years ago?
No, I had
Just
myocarditis.
kidding.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't.
What
And it
is
was-
that?
it's
What
just
are you?
like-
What is
it's-
that, Doc?
It's basically when you get sick, but it's in your heart, and it's just like you have like a virus in your heart.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Did you use that to get women?
No, I did not.
My
Would you
heart
have
is sick for
recommended that?
you. Yes.
Hey, my name's Sean. I have myocarditis.
Yeah.
Would
My
you like
heart's
to
so
listen to my
strong.
podcast?
My heart is sick. So
My heart's
will
sick for
date
you,
me? I
girl.
could die any day. And
Girl, are you myocarditis? Because you're hurting my heart.
But,
if that doesn't get you laid,
The
Yeah.
funny thing is, like, they didn't really tell me, because it's a thing where they're like, your heart just beats irregularly and they got to monitor it, and then but it does just go away ideally after a year or so. But it's not like they told me like, hey, don't
Sounds made up.
exercise. I think they just saw me and they were like, he's already doing that, so we don't gotta like warn him about it. But like, I think if you're a professional athlete, they're like, hey, maybe you just like relax for the year.
yeah.
Okay.
But if anyone has any myocarditis questions in relation to Tommy Sweeney, send us an email.
That's the 6th Patreon tier. You get free myocarditis advice from Sean Murphy.
Oh, I thought you actually got myocarditis or whatever.
Yeah,
that would be
that's
the
it. Well, we
tier.
give it to you and then we tell you what to do.
$100. Sean will give you the disease.
It's like in a Bond movie where they poison someone and they have the antidote. That's what this symbol is.
Okay, here's the questions. We'll start with Greg. Question 1. What number is higher, Greg? Tommy Sweeney's jersey number or the age of Jim Brown?
That's a good question. I know the first part and I won't say it out loud. Jim Brown played. I'm going to say Jim Brown's older.
Okay, Kyle, to you.
Man, I don't know. Oh, you're saying Jim Brown's older?
What the fuck?
Is that what you said?
There was 2 choices and I said Jim Brown's older.
I'm gonna take the jersey. I think. Oh no, shit! I said it. Jersey.
What do you want? You could
I'm
take
gonna
it
go
back.
jersey.
No. He gave an answer.
He said. Sean was like, "Take it back. Take it back."
No. He's right. The correct answer is the jersey number, which is 89, and
Suck it, Greg.
Jim Brown is 84.
Oh,
Question
wow.
2
Good
to
question.
Kyle. Kyle, what number is higher, not including today, catches by Bills tight ends so far this year, or
Not including Lee Smith's catch.
or interception return yards so far this year, minus 25?
Oh boy. Jesus. I'm gonna go. Man, they're both so low. I mean, I have no idea. I'm gonna go receptions.
Let's go
High is
reception.
higher. He's saying its receptions are higher.
I believe so. You're saying
I'm
reception.
going to agree because it seems like every time the Bills DB intercepts the ball, they run them in the other direction. That's what Trey White did today. So, yeah.
You are both correct. There were 23 tight end receptions so far this
Wow,
year,
that's a lot.
not including today's game. And
24.
and there were the interception return yards were 39, minus 25 is 14. So you both get the point. Question 3, we start with Kyle because he's in the lead. Kyle, question
I'm here.
3. Nice burp. What of the following names is not on the Chargers roster?
God damn it.
Is it A, Cole Toner, B. Cole Christensen, C. Cole Maza,
No.
or D. Cole Sear?
They have 3 Coles.
They have 3 Coles. I don't even remember. I stopped listening. I was just like, there's no way there's 3 Coles.
I'll tell you again. It's Toner, Christensen, Maza, or Sear.
The third one, Maza.
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 Okay. He's going Maza.
Oh wait, Maza sounds like a football name. Fuck. Whatever, I'll go Maza.
Go Maza. Greg, you need this to force a tiebreaker.
Cole Stoner.
That's an ice cream place.
It was the Toner or Sear. You combined two.
Oh, I combined them. Okay, Toner.
Greg, you should have went Sear.
Oh.
The correct answer is Cole Sear is Haley Joel Osment's character in The Sixth Sense.
Hmm.
Cole Toner is an offensive lineman. Cole Christensen is a linebacker, and Cole Maza is the long snapper. But Kyle, you win the
I win
Tommy Sweeney
again.
jersey.
Congratulations.
What's the overall score? Or are we going to
Kyle
find
wanted
that
it
out
more.
at the end?
Yeah.
I'll tell you next time. You're way ahead of Greg.
Hell yeah.
So before we talk about the 49ers game, I have a Louis segment real quick.
Oh.
Wow.
All
Yeah.
right.
And I will
See-
say before I played this is kind of on me because I said, "Hey Louis, I haven't done a segment in a while. You should do one." And he said the lines aren't out yet, and I was like, "All right," and he's like, "I'll do one anyway." So I mean, so
Okay.
it's kind of on me. This so just so we all know.
Oh God, 30 minutes of music.
Guys, it's me, Louis G. How has everybody been? It's been a while since you guys have heard from me. Fortunately, I went on a little bit of a cold spell. I am now out of the gambling game, but I went to the used cars business, and I'm doing that now. You can follow my new Twitter at Louis G's Cars for Cash. The word 4 is actually just the number 4. And the S in cash is a backwards dollar sign. So make sure you put that in right. You guys know how Buffalo is the biggest gathering and collection of 1998 Hyundai Elantras, and I have them all here. Everyone that's available. I have a red one. I have one where the trunk works, and then one where all 4 windows work. But so I'm doing this now. Please, again, I know we got a lot of followers for the other gambling thing. Come join me with this. I don't have any picks for you next week because there's no lines out yet or anything like that, but trying not to loop. I hear you guys are doing this Patreon thing. Maybe I'll write some stuff in my downtime here at the office, but right now I got 2 people on the lot. One is the pizza guy, and the other one's the guy that comes with one of the Elantras. He actually sleeps in the. But can you at least, while there's people. All right, guys, it's good to see it. I will, I'm not seeing you. You guys, talk to you soon. Bye.
Has anyone checked on Louis in a while? He doesn't sound happy.
We talking about he's selling used cars. He sounds great.
He sounds like he's at the end of his rope.
I immediately texted him. I want the one where the trunk works. It sounded like quite the catch.
Louis G's Cars for Cash. I could not find it on Twitter, but I'll send him an email. All right, that's it, right? This has been like way too long.
We got a game coming up,
God
Greg.
damn it.
Big game Monday night against the 49ers.
I'm so glad I didn't look who it was against. And
I have no idea.
I just kind of, in my head, I was like, oh, it's the 49ers, but I didn't look. So I created a whole key to the game. I was like, in just this moment, I was like, I hope it's the 49ers. I didn't even check.
Who we might be playing in Arizona because they're not allowed to play in San Francisco currently. So, but still exciting to have that Monday night game. How do we do it, Kyle? How do we show up on a primetime game? What do we got to do?
Easy. Here's what we do. And this, you don't need the players, the coaches. You just need fans like us, baby. Okay? Here's what we do. Okay. So, head coach Kyle Shanahan there, right? Pretty good, right? What does he have? He has an inferior, I think this is a term, inferior complex. Inferiority complex. That's it. Why? Because of his dad. His dad, 3 Super Bowl rings. His dad's this amazing, even if he wasn't amazing in his second stints at places or overall, and he just had Elway and it was good and whatever. But he has yet to live up to his dad, Mike Shanahan, right? Denver Broncos coach.
Yes, you're doing great, Kyle.
That's what I'm saying. So it bugs the shit out of him. So all we do is we all mail the whoever, whatever their One Bills drive is. I don't know. One Bills 49ers. I don't fucking know. You just mail pictures of Mike Shanahan and his 3 rings. That's all you do. And then it's going to start fucking getting to Kyle Shanahan's head. He's going to be like, no, I'm better than my dad. You know you're not better than your dad. That's what you say. We write little haikus on it, like you and your dad. Your dad's better. That's a haiku, right? That was 3. That's 3.
I thought it was
Kyle, you are
575.
good, but your dad is better. Haiku. That's 3 lines.
Okay.
Haiku. See, now it's
Okay,
easy.
okay,
My dad was
okay.
a truck driver. I don't need to. I think I'm already past truck driver. I'm good. He has not lived up to his dad, and it bugs him. And we need to point it out.
Was your dad really a truck driver?
Oh yeah.
You know
He
what?
got kicked out of high school his sophomore year, and then just became a truck driver.
You know what's
'cause
crazy?
That's the '50s, baby.
You know what's crazy is my dad loaded trucks.
Well, they probably knew each other.
Is that crazy?
I don't
That's a
know
true
how
thing.
I don't know how you just considered it so easily that you had done better than him. Like I don't like you.
You
I
kidding
mean,
me?
I'm not
I
saying
got
you
a
didn't.
Patreon.
I'm
My
not
dad
saying
never
you
had a
didn't.
Patreon.
I'm not saying you didn't, but it's not as like it's closer than you're acting like. It's like I want to stack
But
the
he
tape
had a
little
whole
more.
life.
Yeah,
I
well,
have, I still got some time. I mean, it's slim. Don't get me wrong. I didn't blow him out of the water. It's slim, and
let's
I
see how the
can easily
Patreon does.
regress.
Let's see how the
I can easily
Patreon does.
regress.
Yeah.
You might need that $240.
Oh, I do. That's no joke. But that's it. Let's just rub in his face that his dad is more successful than him.
I like it.
That's and you know what? I think the Bills keep up their winning ways, and we go into Arizona presumably, and we win 28-17.
I don't like this game. I think it's a loss.
Oh.
All right.
I don't know what you want from me. I just don't think that they're going to do well. I don't like the way it's setting up.
It's the NFL. It's a weird landscape right now. The Patriots beat the Cardinals today, 20-17. Fucking bananas. Right now,
And not to interrupt you, but the Falcons destroyed the Raiders today. And that's another thing when I want to keep some positive attitude going. It's like
the Chiefs.
We got the W's, guys. We got the win today.
The Chiefs are up on the Buccaneers right now, 17-0. The 49ers are beating the Rams right now, 7-3.
You want that? You want them coming off of a win. That Denver guy, the receiver.
I was just going to bring that up.
He's 0 for 7 with a pick in the first half, so he did not complete a single pass the entire first half. I want to go watch that. I want to go watch him. Like if you ever wondered, if I played quarterback, I can complete at least one pass. No, this guy played at a high level and can't complete a pass in the NFL.
I'm going to give 2 scores here, and I'll tell you why. The 49ers run the ball amazingly. They have Mostert back, and they run play action great, right? These are 2 things the Bills usually have trouble with, all right? Now, if A.J. Klein is in the game, the Bills will lose 26-18, okay? If Matt Milano is back, the Bills will lose 29-27.
Wait, how do they
Mark
get
it
more
down.
points for Milano playing? How does the offense get better if Milano plays?
I don't know. It's not my job. It's not my job to predict what happens during the game. What's going to happen at the end of the game.
So, we're going to fast forward a week and there's some guy, and it's definitely a guy on his computer listening to the In the Hunt cast, opening up another winner to subscribe to the Patreon, and just heard that take and closed the window.
Yep.
Worth it. We don't need you on board, buddy. If those takes hurt you, get out. Don't listen to our podcast. Punch up. Remember, DBs, punch up.
Kyle's going to have punch up t-shirts. We're going to add that to one of the tiers.
This was can we never promote the Patreon again and just take that clip from today and put it in other episodes?
We could, but it was so long. We need to do a shorter version of it.
It'll never be that long again. We'll just say we have a Patreon. Go check it out.
Yeah. We just wanted to do it once to, get all the.
Yeah. We had to explain, well, for someone, if they don't know what Patreon is, but they love us, you can also Venmo me. I will absolutely split it with Greg and Sean. This Patreon is going to be the downfall of the podcast.
Stop telling people to Venmo you piece of shit.
I
will try. I will try. I have tried. The blogs will be better than the podcast. Like, I will try. My effort toward the blogs will be better than the podcast. So I'll tell you that much.
The first one's good. It made me laugh.
Good. Well, there's more written.
Karate Dog was
I actually like
dog shit movie. Not to give away our first Patreon episode, but
stop.
Boy, was that movie fucking awful.
Okay. Well, let's stop talking so people can go about their day.
Yes,
this
and
was a 50-minuter.
Kyle will be happy for once. And just to quickly wrap up, a reminder to leave us a review on iTunes, subscribe, YouTube,
So
Twitter, all that shit. We're on the Helium Podcast Network. Go listen to other shows. Our friends Clayton Williams and Rick Matthews have a podcast.
Stop.
That's fun. And I host trivia every Wednesday. That's fun. Go find that at Helium.
All right. Sweeto, one love.
All right. Bye, everybody. Patreon.
Bye. Bye, everyone. One love.
The Bills won.